So I think we are live now. Hello students and welcome back to bankexamstudy.com. My name is Ramandeep Singh and this is the 16th session in the SEBI Grade A 2020 series, right? So today we are going to cover the economics again. Yesterday I covered economics and today again I'm going to cover economics. So let me just check if everything is working properly so that I can start my session. Yeah, everything is working properly. Let me just share the link on my Telegram channel. And let me just tell everybody that we are live now. So let's just start the session. And if there is any problem, you can always use a super chat. I'm just watching you there. If there is any doubt, yeah, everything is working fine. Ask your doubts in the super chat. Okay. So let's move on to the question number 1. In foreign exchange, it's question number 12. The rest of the questions I already done in my previous session yesterday. Please check it. So full form of SWIFT, not a difficult question. What is the full form of SWIFT? It's simple. A Society for Worldwide Interbank Financial Telecommunication. For I stands for Interbank. Very easy question. Now this is little complicated, right? In the demand curve of which market firm of market structure is usually kinked. What is kink? Kinky is a word, a very common word. To understand that, first of all, you should understand the elasticity of demand. See students, I have already explained this concept in my yesterday's video. In case of let's take an example. There are certain products. This is price goes here, and quantity, the quantity demanded goes here. There are certain products in the market whose price doesn't make an impact on the quantity demanded, right? It's actually that sort of products actually rarely exist. A good example would be maybe wheat, or no, not even wheat. Let's take an example of milk. It is not purely inelastic, but sort of, I would say, it is sort of inelastic. It is not perfectly inelastic. The price of milk is rupees 50 per liter. If its price goes to rupees 52 or 53 per liter, would you stop buying milk? No, you'll be still buying the milk. Even if it goes to rupees 60, would you stop buying milk? No. Maybe you will be demanding less quantity of milk, but you'll be still demanding the milk. Okay. So that's what elasticity of demand is. If the price of a product doesn't make any impact. I mean, see, if say the price of product is rupees 50 here, the demand is same. Even at rupees 100, the demand is same. That is perfectly inelastic. While the opposite of inelastic is elastic. Okay, so that is actually real world situation. Situation is this one: inelastic, relatively inelastic, and relatively elastic. When see this thing, just give it this a look. Give a look to the green demand curve. The change in price, there is a huge change. This much is a change in price. This much is a change in price. While this much is a change in demand. The change in price is more. The price does not have that much impact on the demand, right? So that a good classic example would be milk. In case of elastic demand, that could be a good example would be shampoo, or let's say cold drinks, Coke, right? If price of let's say Dove increased from rupees 100 per bottle to rupees 150, you will be buying Sunsilk, you will be buying any other brand, right? Because alternatives are available, right? Substitutes are available. That is why it is elastic. So that is elasticity of demand. Now that's important to understand the kinked demand. See students, what happens in a oligopoly? What happens in a oligopoly? Few members, they dominate the whole market. Few firms, they have the majority of market share. Majority of market share is held by few market players. Good example can be telecom companies in India. There are few telecom companies. Right now it's just Airtel and Jio. Right. Similarly, the packaged food, the packaged beverages, the Coca-Cola and Pepsi, hardly 2 or 3 companies are there. So what happens? What happens when let's say there is a company named as Coca-Cola, right? Coca-Cola. If Coca-Cola increase the price, if price increased, if Coca-Cola increases the price, the Pepsi is not going to increase the price. Let's say if the Coca-Cola increased the price of its 500 ml bottle from rupees 30 to 40. Pepsi is not going to do that. Pepsi is not going to increase the price. They will enjoy the increase in demand without doing anything. The people will stop buying. A lot of people will stop buying the Coca-Cola and they'll switch to Pepsi. Right? But in case the Coca-Cola decrease its price, the Pepsi is going to follow it. The Pepsi is going to follow it. The Pepsi is going to decrease the price to 25 as well. So what happens at this point of time when Coca-Cola increased the price, the change in price has huge impact on the demand. The change in price has huge impact on the demand, while at this point when the price decreases, it has less impact on the demand because the competitor is going to follow you. If Coca-Cola increases the price, Pepsi didn't follow it. They didn't follow it. But when Coca-Cola decreased the price, Pepsi actually followed it. Okay. So let's move forward. That's why the demand is kinked. That is why the demand is kinked. In the beginning, the demand was elastic. But when the price decreased, the demand, it became inelastic. That is why, please give it a look. Let me just change the color so that you will be understanding in a better way. Let me just change the color to green. Okay, so see, this is the curve. It goes there and then it is kinked. It was elastic, then it became inelastic. Okay, so that's what it is. So that's what king demand that happens in case of oligopoly. Okay, king demand. This point is itself very, very important. King demand. Okay. So railway doesn't come under oligopoly. Railway is a monopoly, right? Railway is the only player. So it comes under monopoly. Okay. So let's move forward. I hope you are able to understand whatever I'm teaching. मुझे महाभारत के टाइम पे नहीं पढ़ाना चाहिए. So the purchase of financial assets by the non-Indians. First of all, what is portfolio investment? What happens in portfolio, right? The people, they are buying. These are investors. They go to the one company which is buying the stocks and shares and everything on their behalf, right? It's just like a mutual fund for the foreign investors, right? So that is what portfolio investment is. These investors, they do not have direct rights on the investments made. So the correct answer is portfolio investment. Okay. Which of these factors can cause a disequilibrium in the balance of payment of a country? See, students, when the country is importing more and exporting less, there will be a disequilibrium. There can be various factors, right? The factors can be development programs. The country is spending a lot of money on that infrastructure projects, right? And they are not making much money. And the country may be importing a lot higher. The imports are higher as compared to exports. The business, there is cyclical business fluctuations in the country. The business is not doing well. So all of these can be the reasons behind the disequilibrium in the BOP. Okay. Which of these is not a characteristic of monopolistic competition? Monopolistic competition, which of these? So there is a freedom of entry and exit. The products are differentiated, but the firms make a supernormal profit in short run. In short run, it is not a characteristic. In short run, they may make the supernormal profit by differentiating their products, but in the long run, if suppose, let's take an example. there are, let's say, 10 10 seller, 10 sweet shops, 10 sweet shops, right? They sell samosas, right? I'm not a big fan of samosas, but they sell samosas, right? But there is one player who is selling some different sort of samosa. He is using dry fruit. He is selling a dry fruit samosa, and he's selling really well. He's making extra normal profit. But once these 9 players, they get to know that this guy, he's making a lot of money by selling this dry fruit samosa. Why not to sell this dry fruit samosa? So everybody will start selling the same dry fruit samosa, and so in the long run, he won't be making a super normal profit. Okay. So because the other players are going to follow. So in the monopolistic, firms cannot make supernormal profit in long run. That can be done in short run only. Which of these is also referred as below the line items? Below the line items. So below the line items in the balance of payment, first of all, you should know accommodated and autonomous items in autonomous in the accommodative items in BOP. Autonomous, the importers and exporters, they are making the payments, right? That is autonomous. When the central bank, the government is trying to balance it, trying to balance the disequilibrium. If the exports are higher than the imports are higher than equilibrium, the government, they are trying to balance it. That is accommodating items, right? So these accommodating items, they are also known as accommodating items, are also known as a below the line items. Okay, so accommodating items is a correct answer. They are also known as below the line items. So complete the statement. The value of marginal propensity to consume. See students, as it is suggested, let's say you make 20,000 rupee a month. You spend that money. You make 20,000 rupee a month, and you are spending 20,000 rupee only, right? And the next person, I mean, you spend it and you gave it to like 50 people, to a landlord, you went to bar, you bought beer, you bought, you went to gyms, you do this and that, everything, right? And another thing, if you buy, let's say, whatever you spend, it is somebody's income. But what if you are spending just 5,000 rupee, and for 50,000, 15,000, you put that money in your piggy bank? So what will happen? This is not somebody's income, while 20,000 is somebody's income. Are you getting it? So higher the marginal propensity to consume, higher you consume, higher would be investment multiplier, right? It will multiply the investment, that will be multiplied. Okay, so multiplier, the formula to multiplier is 1 divided by 1 minus MPC. Okay, the higher you consume, higher your MPC is, the higher would be the multiplier. Okay, so if you are spending more, it will be income of another person, right? And if that another person, if he is spending again, that will be income of the third person, and it multiplies. So the notion that supply shall create its own demand was propounded in which ideology? It was Say's law. Classic theory on output and employment says that the supply would produce whatever you want. The supply would create its own demand. That is classical theory on output and employment. Okay. So the last question: which of these will be recorded in the current account? Which of these would be recorded in the current account of balance of payment statement? So what is the difference between current account transactions and the revenue account transaction? Current account and the capital account transactions. So the capital account transaction, they make an impact on your assets and liabilities. So current account is whatever you do in your day-to-day life, right? So external existence from capital market, it is about capital market. It is about capital market. Borrowings, it is about capital market. It is about asset liability. FDI, again, it is investment. It is about assets and liability. Payment of insurance, it is an expense. So which of these will be recorded in current account? Payment of insurance would be recorded in current account. It is an expense sort of. Okay, So that's all for today. I hope you like the way I am teaching. I am providing complete SEBI Grade A 2020 course. My name is Ramandeep Singh. You can join my classes on bankexamstudy.com. I am providing complete video classes that is based on latest syllabus, and I'm also providing the test series for phase 1, phase 2. Notes are available in the downloadable format, and descriptive paper evaluation is also provided. We got 9 final selection in SEBI Grade A 2018 out of just 47 students. Just join me on bankexamstudy.com. This is a list of students who cracked the 2018 exam using our study material. I'm really happy for them. You can be one of them. So that's all for today, students. Thank you and have a very nice day. That's all for today. Subscribe my channel and like this video. That's really important for me. So thank you and have a very nice day. Bye.